my role becomes as an individual who will be always looking forward to create solutions, who will be always be available for support, for strength. And so with this awareness, we find that then when we look at our present situation, there is one aspect which sometimes is a question mark for us, and that is the experience of stress, pain, sorrow in our life. Situations happen to us, people in relationships, we have conflict with each other. There maybe physically, as we are seeing in the situation around the world now, we are falling sick, some of us are dying. And so we find that what is the influence of our own conscious thought, our own conscious decisions in this? So let us today understand the law of karma, the secrets of the law of karma. Hindi, very beautifully, it is said, कर्मों की गति अति गुह्य है. That is, the law of karma is very, very subtle and secretive. And it's very important for us to understand the secret, understand the significance of our role when we talk about the law of karma. Till now, we always felt that karma means destiny. And so many of us, always felt that whatever we are facing in our life, it's just destiny. We really don't have a lot of maybe choice there, and it's something which has been handed over to us by destiny, by God, by some higher source above. And so sometimes we feel that we are helpless, we are a victim, and even though we are putting so much effort, we are not able to achieve what we want to achieve. But as we understand, the law of karma says, in religions also we have had this essence, and we find the Supreme also guides us that I perform karma, whatever is the quality of my action will be the quality of the result. That is, as I sow, so I reap. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Jo karega, so bharega. That is, it is my quality of karma which actually enables me to express fruit accordingly. And yet, when we today see in our life those difficult moments of our life, we experience that stress, pain, defeat. We have planned so well and things don't happen as we wanted. We have always sustained or given good wishes or tried to be the best in a relationship, and yet we were not accepted, and a lot of expectations were created for us, and that is why that relationship has come into an. And so we find there is a lot of question mark. If we see the law of karma, there are two types of karma which we can relate to. That is positive karma and negative karma. And now, since we have awareness of the soul and the innate virtues of the soul, we find pure karma, positive karma, sukarma, shresht karma, divine karma is that karma which we do in the awareness that I am that spiritual being of light, the child of the Supreme. And so, as we were seeing in our meditation today, we have inherited virtues, qualities, innate power, innate purity from the Supreme. Connected to this awareness naturally that I am that being of light, and so I am God's creation, and so I am a peaceful soul, pure soul. All those virtues, when I'm connected to naturally, then automatically my quality of thoughts, words, and actions are elevated, are pure. And so we find thoughts, emotions, feelings, attitude are also karma. And so we find that we start creating those pure and positive karma. But if we are aware of ourselves at a physical level, that is, we are only aware of ourselves at the physical identity. And that's where we call this word, we use this word many times, and it is a spiritual word, but I think now we can relate to it, is that we become body conscious. That is, I see myself on the base of my physical identity. And so it is my form, a woman, a man, then my age, then my color, my features, then my maybe academic education, my financial position, my language, my religion, my country, my state, and my attitudes, my belief systems, my achievements, my past, all those different experiences which I've had, if I'm allowing myself only to relate to the world on the basis of my body consciousness, awareness of myself as this physical identity, it's very subtly, unknowingly, I'm using those weaknesses. Because of body consciousness, there is ego, there is anger, there is greed, there is attachment, there is lust, there is fear, there is insecurity, there is doubt. There are so many subtle weaknesses which start influencing my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, my attitudes, my words, my actions, my interactions. And so I start performing these subtle, impure, negative karma. And we find that other than these two types of karma, we just saw it on the screen, and we saw the third type of karma is where we saw it as neutral karma. And when we talk about neutral karma, we use the word in Hindi, akarma, shresh karma, vikarma, and akarma. Now, neutral karma or akarma is that karma where we are enjoying the fruit of our own pure karma. In a very simple way, if we just give self an example, a very simple, ordinary example, it's of a seed which I'm sowing. Maybe I'm sowing the seed of a mango tree. After I've sown the seed, sowing the seed, and then after I've sown the seed, then I'm nurturing the plant, I'm making available, some resources, and light is available, I'm watering it every day. So I'm taking care of it. So sowing the seed and nurturing the plant is pure karma, is good karma. And then after a few years, the seed becomes a tree, sapling becomes a huge tree. And maybe after 3 or 4 years, there are a lot of fruits which now are available on the tree. And then I pick up one fruit, I pluck one fruit and I eat it. Now, plucking the fruit and eating it, this karma, if we check, is still karma. We find that there's no future benefit. I've eaten the fruit. Now there's no future benefit for myself or for the society. If we see, is it impure karma? We find that, well, I have plucked that fruit from the tree which I have taken effort to sustain, to nurture. And so it's not negative. I've not stolen that fruit from someone else's orchard. And so that karma, which is not negative and not positive, is called neutral karma, where I'm enjoying the fruit of my own pure karma. I've sown the seed, I've nurtured it, now it's become a big tree, and now I'm able to enjoy the fruit of that tree. So when I'm eating that fruit, I'm enjoying the result of my own good karma, the fruit of my own good karma. And that's why that is called akarma. And after eating the fruit, if I again allow that seed to be sown again, then that becomes again pure. And so at a daily level, if we see, we have all these three types of karma. Pure, I'm performing karma where the awareness is of the innate self, and we are using those virtues, those innate qualities. I'm using peace, I'm using purity, I'm using love, I'm using power, innate strength, self-esteem. I'm using compassion, benevolence. I'm using these virtues and qualities, these innate virtues and qualities. And so automatically that karma is becoming elevated, pure, divine karma. And here I'm using the weaknesses. That is, I'm getting angry, I'm getting upset, I'm thinking negative about someone because or I'm blaming people, I'm blaming myself, I'm blaming the people in the situation, I'm insecure, a lot of fear. And so we find that all these negative feelings and emotions at different levels of percentage, but all of that is impure negative karma. Now, as we saw before, every karma like a seed. And so we saw that as I sow, so I reap. So if I've sown any type of good karma, pure karma, elevated karma, which we call as Shresht karma, we will surely experience its fruit today or tomorrow, sometime or the other. And if I have performed some negative karma, that is impure karma, maybe we'll see this slide a little later. We can just see those three different types of karma: pure, negative, and neutral. And so we find that if we perform that negative karma, we will have to experience its fruit, that is its result, the experience of its result in the form of pain and sorrow in some time or the other. And so we find that every karma has its impact. Now, at a day to day level, what happens is many times this question mark is there that I am performing some good karma, I am doing some good. And yet, when I am seeing in my daily life, I am experiencing a lot of conflict. I am experiencing a lot of problems in maybe what I'm doing at work, maybe what I'm doing for the family. And every day, some of the other obstacles, some of the other subtle challenges, some blocks, barriers are coming very easily in my day-to-day schedule. And yet, on one hand, when I consciously check, I'm doing some good karma also, but I'm not facing, seeing, experiencing its result. Now we find that every karma, every action is like a seed, and every seed has a different point of fruition. The seed germinating and then giving us fruit, forming a plant, growing, and then giving fruit. So we find that every seed has a different time, phase of fruition. Some seeds like coriander leaves, sow them. Seed of impure karma, which I have sown in this journey of life or past journeys of life. And so it is very important for me to understand that whatever is happening to me, according to the law of karma, I am responsible for whatever is happening to me. Nothing can happen to me in life without my being responsible for it. Even if we sometimes there are people who have this question that maybe this journey of life we can relate to, but what about past journeys of life? How can we relate to that? What we did. But we find that when we talk about the law of karma, there is a deep impact of what we have done and experienced in the past, and we can see that in the present. It's very simple if we see, it's a very good example, which many times our other faculties also use. It's very, very easy to understand. It's about, if you see maybe you and one of your friend, and if suppose you are in this together, have a meeting. Now you should have a meeting only on Zoom or through internet. But if maybe even through that you are having a meeting and you've decided about some work which you will be doing after a month, and you have decided that okay, one person will be buying some goods from the other person, and that person will be providing that much material or goods to this person. So a business deal has been finalized, and so you are buying something from your friend, and so you owe that money to your friend, and so you have to pay maybe 50,000. And after a few days, after everything has settled down outside, and now you've started business, work, everything, you have received all the goods from your friend, from your co-trader, and now you are responsible for making the payment. And now suppose this has happened. Now again, we have met each other maybe after a month, again meeting each other, and another deal has happened. Now, when we meet next time, the trader, your colleague, your friend trader, and you have changed your dress. The trader has changed, he's wearing something else, you are also wearing something else. Now, will the deal which has happened before, a month before, where you need to pay 50,000 rupees for the goods which you have received, will that deal still stand? Will it still be workable that you still have to pay that 50,000? Yes, surely, because you are the same. It's just that you have changed your dress, and the deal has happened more not between your physical dress which you have been wearing, it's between you as a person and between your friend, your trader, your colleague, the trader, as a person. And then we find that as we move on, we can keep meeting each other, different meetings, and yet we find we can change our dress and we can still keep meeting each other. But every deal which we have finalized with each other will stand good as it is. Even though whenever we have met next time, we have changed our dress, our physical appearance is different, the clothes we are wearing are different, yet the past deal will stand good. And we have to pay that money which for which we had got or we have ordered goods for. And so we find that this costume, this physical costume which we are wearing, is not so relevant when we are making deals with each other. We could wear any dress, but it's a person who is creating the deal with the other person. In the same way, if we relate back to the lesson of the self, the innate being, first lesson, we found that our identity is not the physical identity. That's just the means. It's more like a costume which we are wearing. It's that vehicle which we are using. And I am this being of light. And so when I'm performing karma, it's not the costume which is performing karma or create whether I'm giving happiness, whether I'm giving unhappiness, whether I am supporting someone or whether I am betraying someone, whatever is the karma amongst each other. We find it's not the physical costume which actually matters because it is the innate soul which is performing that karma. I'm using my mind and intellect and sanskars to perform that karma. And so the deal of karma is between the soul and the soul. So the costume could change after a few years, the costume could change, but the deal still stands good. And just like in the previous example I saw, the first deal I had to pay that 50,000. So maybe after 10 years also I have to pay 50,000. After 20 years also I have to pay 50,000 or how much ever now my amount is coming up to. And till the end I have to pay that. And if I leave the body and change my costume, I still have to pay that 50,000. I still have to make good the deal. I still have to follow the deal. And so we find that as such, so many different types of karma consciously and unconsciously we are performing. And as we are performing, we are unaware that every karma which we are performing, even through our thoughts, feelings, emotions, attitudes, our words, our behavior, whatever we are performing, whatever actually is the energy radiated, whether it's to people, it's to a situation, to nature, to the world, we find that energy will surely come back to us because that's the law of karma. So in this journey of life, we are more aware of what's coming back to us. But in the past journeys which we have taken, we're not so aware, so we cannot relate to. And that's why we talk about birth and we talk about death. We can see that today. And the crisis situation where we see people dying. And so we find that birth, being born in a family, there has to be some quality of karma which is connected to that family, the situations which I face, and my journey as a child. I'm born in a family where the family loves me, supports me, takes care of me, good education, everything is sorted out. But I'm born in a family where things are not taken care. Maybe the financial conditions, maybe the other challenges in the family are there. So every soul, when it takes a new journey, its quality of karma in that past journey influences its further journey. So the soul is born in a particular family with that quality of experience of comfort, support, even at a physical level, health level through the body on the basis of its karma. And so, if there is some pain and sorrow, again, it relates back to the karma of that soul in the past journey. And then, even during the journey of life, whatever quality of feelings, emotions, thoughts, words, actions, behavior I'm performing, that also influence my leaving this body. Many other things are at a day-to-day level we are experiencing, but even these two aspects are on the basis of karma. And so we find that what is the role of God here? Because most of the time, still now, we have always believed that, well, God has created our destiny. And so we have thanked Him also for good things which are happening in life, though we have forgotten about that many times. But somewhere within, we try to be aware and we thank Him also. But more than thanking Him, we have always been blaming Him for situations which are happening in our life. And every time there is a moment of pain and sorrow, and things don't happen as I've planned, and I face defeat, or I face defamation, I face insult, I face betrayal. That's a time where I have blamed God and I've said, I've always remembered you, I've always been good, I've always done good karma, and this is what I'm facing because of this. This is what you're giving me. And so we find that we've always been, blaming the Supreme and putting the onus of all our experiences in our present life as if He is sitting there and giving us that pain and sorrow and creating challenges in our life. Now, when we talked about the Supreme Father, the second lesson, we found that He's our spiritual parent. That loving parent is our loving father and mother. And if you see this journey of life as a parent, as a child, when you think about your parents, what did they do? They gave you love, they gave you sustenance in whichever way they had, their circumstances, their background, their circumstances, they did their best for you as a child. As a parent, they took that responsibility and they gave their best. They gave you love, they gave you so much sustenance, and they were always there. And some of us are so lucky to have our parents till now with us. And if you are parents also, you're going to do that to your children. You are doing it to that children. Your whole world sometimes centers around your child. And today, if you were given an opportunity to actually write the destiny of your child, what would you write? Maybe you know that child is not studying well, your child is not behaving well, the child is not so obedient, child has some negative habits of getting irritated and something wrong which the child is doing. I'm aware of that. Yet as a parent, what will I do? A destiny for the child which has a lot of pain, sorrow, challenges, discomfort. Do we write that? No. As a parent, we cannot write any pain, any sorrow for our child. And so as a parent, we will always support our child in that journey. We know that because of some karma which the child is performing, maybe at the childhood level, the child is not so disciplined, not so obedient, and so the child doesn't want to study. Child sometimes is influenced by the environment outside, and so the child could take some decisions which are not right, and maybe the child faces that challenge because of that. And academically, at a physical level, at an emotional level, at a habit level, maybe the child is influenced by some wrong habit, something or the other. But as a parent, even though we see the child facing a lot of problems because of some decisions or wrong decisions that the child only has made, because maybe the child has not listened to us also. But yet, as a parent, what will we do? What will be our role? To sustain, to only empower, to only guide, strength, and lovingly give the power of realization, lovingly be available to give that, share that love and compassion parent. And imagine if you're doing that for your child in this one journey of life, as a parent for journey of life, our eternal parent, our eternal loving father and mother, who's the ocean of love, ocean of compassion, ocean of mercy, ocean of strength, how much available our Supreme Father is to me, constantly guiding me, loving me, accepting me, empowering me, mm, having that merciful vision towards me, enabling me to see my own divinity, my own positivity, strengthening me. And so, constantly, the Supreme Father's role is to be available to each child of his. And yet, we find that the Supreme is able to support us in our journey of life by helping us to deal with our impure karma only when I connect to him. And so that is why the Supreme is teaching us this method of Rajyoga, so that we can allow our mind and intellect to have this very loving connection with the Supreme, a very natural and easy bonding with the Supreme, so that when we are facing those challenges, experience our own courage, be able to use God's love, God's strength, His compassion, His peace to deal with that. My mind can be free from that stress, that discomfort, the pain. And so to me, it's not because God is doing something wrong or because someone else is doing something wrong towards me. It's because of my own choices, my own decisions. Once I accept that, I will feel so light. Because most of the time we are fighting, to trying to blame someone or the other, and not wanting to accept onus of our own karma. But we find that karma does not only mean that I've done something wrong and so I'm facing pain, but I've done so many things right. And because of that, first of all, I have this wonderful family where I was born, the parents who have taken care of me, my body is healthy, I have a good job, I have good life partner, children, everything. So much good is there in my life because of that good karma which I performed in the past, in this journey of life also, in the past journeys of life. And so I have to first thank the Supreme for whatever I have that gratitude for Supreme and for myself to perform that good karma. And now I can enjoy that good karma, but also have this conscious attention that every day there's an opportunity to sow more seeds of pure karma, more seeds of pure elevated karma. So this time, the confluence age is a sowing season. It's like in farming, we find that there is a particular time where the farmer makes use of that time only to sow seeds. Before that, he has to make the field ready, plow the field, make it ready, and in the sowing season, he has to keep sowing seeds. And this confluence age is a sowing season. Why? Because the Supreme Father is giving us not only the wisdom to understand the law of karma, to understand the significance of what's happening in our life, to understand why things are not happening as I want, and why things unknowingly, even without my conscious effort today, good things are happening to me in my life. So understanding all that, that wisdom the Supreme Father is giving, but also He's giving me His unconditional love and compassion so that I can strengthen myself and now start performing only and only pure, beneficial, elevated, good karma. So consciously, this is the time, the conference stage is the sowing season time. And also very beautifully, the Supreme has revealed to us that every karma, one thing is the fruit of that karma is in the future, which we understand. Okay. But one other aspect of the fruit of karma is the present fruit. And Hindi very beautifully we say Bhavishya Phal Pratyaksh Phal. That is, as soon as you have helped someone, someone had a problem somewhere, they called you, things available, and you helped that person. You gave that information that he needed that time. You sent some, grocery or something to him. You made it available. You know that someone was available to go and, reach out to people who need groceries or milk or something, and you made it available. You helped that person. Now, after you've done that good act, good karma, that beneficial karma, that support which you gave, how do you feel? How do you feel? You feel so happy. You feel so light. You feel so mm, good about your own self. You feel that deep sense of self-esteem. You like helping people. You feel good about your own self. You feel proud about your own self. And at that moment, when you remember the Supreme, you also experience His blessings because you've helped His child. You've supported His child. So, as a parent, I mean, if someone supports your child, gives something which your child needs at the right time, immediately you will share that love and blessings towards that person. So I receive God's blessings also. So the immediate fruit of every good karma is so empowering, is so strengthening. That immediate fruit of good karma has so much of calmness, so much of contentment and happiness filled within the soul. And that is why every day, as I have this conscious awareness to perform that good karma, that pure karma, I will enjoy the fruit of immediate fruit of good karma every day. It's like that seasonal fruit. And they say, nutritionists always tell us that the seasonal fruit, how whatever illness you have, even if you have you have diabetes or you have some other illness which does not restricts you on diet sometimes, but the seasonal fruit is always allowed and it's very healthy. So in the same way, every day, as I enjoy the fruit of pure karma, the immediate fruit of pure karma, that's like that seasonal fruit, which is very nourishing, which is very empowering, and it inspires me every day to be able to consciously have those good feelings, emotions, send that loving energy, positive energy towards myself, my body, my family, people around me. And then consciously, when I come back into my daily life, daily situations, I am always having that awareness. I am that image of support. I am the child of the Supreme. I am the master seed, which we saw yesterday. And so I have to also play a role like the Supreme to support, to guide, to strengthen, to nurture, to take care, to create solutions, to create benefit to others. And so when this attitude of benevolence is created, slowly and slowly, when this is sustained every day, then I start enjoying that experience of being God's instrument. God's instrument to bring benefit to myself and to bring benefit to people around me. And automatically, the impact of this pure elevated karma of being God's instrument in this time where the Supreme has this task of world transformation, where the Supreme has this task of taking care of so many people. If we see at this moment of crisis in the world, so many people need vibrations of peace, vibrations of strength, vibrations of pure love. And so if I become God's instrument, if I become an angel of God and I send that right energy, even at present through my thoughts, and then later on when I come back into my daily busy schedule through my right feelings, emotions, words, actions, behavior, my vision, my face, my activity, when I start becoming God's instrument, God's angel of love and support, I experience that daily fruit of inner happiness, inner joy, inner sense of self-esteem. So if I see my bank account of my spiritual karma, like we always see our passbook or our financial bank accounts. If we see the bank account of our pure elevated karma, we find that even if today we feel that the elevated karma is less, the credit is less and there's a lot of debit, maybe a lot of thoughts, feelings, emotions unknowingly, and because of some inner feelings of pain, suffering, hatred, misgivings, and I'm holding on to so many things which are not so positive towards people and situations. Because of that, unconsciously, unknowingly, I have created a lot of impure karma. Once, even if I realize that, and I see that bank account, and I know that the credit is less, the debit is more, this is the time. This is a time which because I'm connected with the seed, I'm connected with the Supreme, I'm connected with the Creator. I can use His love, His strength, His compassion, His unlimited power, His unlimited compassion to help me to, at a daily level, create thoughts, feelings, emotions for world benefit. So that pure karma, which I can just sit here and do. And now, because time, I can do this karma and the world needs it. And so as I start performing that pure karma of sending those vibrations of strength, peace, positivity to the world, surely I begin with my family, then with my work and to the world. When I consciously start doing, I feel the inner sense of self-worth. I feel so happy with myself. I feel so fulfilled. And this life of my, this journey of life feels so meaningful. And so we find that rather than now fighting with what's happening in my life, rather than now blaming for things which are happening in my life to God or maybe people around me, rather than keeping on just worrying that I don't have a good fortune, this is the time to awaken myself and create my own fortune. And that is why, if we see, I had mentioned this before also in the cycle of time, that in conference age, this is a time when we can create our good fortune, because the fortune maker, that is the Supreme Father, he's giving us not only the wisdom of what is karma and how we can create pure karma, but he's giving us the power, he's giving us the compassion, he's reconnecting us to our divine self, to our pure self. And he's also simultaneously giving us the availability of his unlimited love, compassion, strength to us constantly. He's like that loving parent who's constantly 24 by 7 available for me. I can use his love, his energy to create those pure, good feelings, good attitudes, good karma for myself. And so we find law of karma. So we find destiny is no longer just chance, or it has just happened, my choice. And sometimes people have a lot of fear of what's going to happen in the future, and that's why they show people, they show their horoscope, they show people, astrologers and all that, which we find that astrology is also science, so it will give us good guidance about maybe what can happen in our life in the future. But we find even astrologers say that in the end, it's what I'm doing which is important in the present. Because even if you see logically, what has happened to us today, like suppose even if we are part of this webinar, the 7 days course, we've taken this decision sometime last week. Yes, we've taken this decision as soon as we received the invitation for this program. We took a decision that we want to be part of it. So I've taken a decision in the past and I'm experiencing its fruit in the present. At this whole journey, I'm enjoying being part of this seminar. Now, what decision I will take now? I will enjoy the fruit of that decision tomorrow. So, what was my past? What decisions I took in the past are deciding what I'm facing in my present. But today, what decisions I take will create my future. So rather than worrying about my destiny, this is the time where God Himself, the Supreme Father Himself, the seed Himself has come and He's giving us His wisdom and He's making Himself completely available to us to allow our mind and intellect to constantly enjoy His connection, His loving relationship, where His energy is constantly available to influence me at a day-to-day level. So all my limitations which we have as a soul, we have these limitations that we have this worry, a nature of worrying, stress, maybe we are sensitive, maybe we have a lot of fear, maybe we have this little head or less ego for in a relationship. God's love, God's strength will influence us and allow us to be free from all these negative feelings and emotions. So now we have to start using this beautiful availability of the Supreme Father to create good, pure, elevated karma every moment of our life. So there's this opportunity. So every breath, we have an opportunity to create multi-millions. That is why very beautifully, lovingly, the Supreme says, Har kadam mein padam jama hai. So every thought, word, feeling, emotion, breath, we can create so much of happiness for ourselves and pure karma for ourselves and for the world around. So this is the time the God is Supreme is offering us that we should be His instrument. We can join hands with in this task of creating a better world, of this task of giving strength, peace, mm, mm, compassion to the entire world, because the world needs it at present. But naturally, I need to think about the world, have that unlimited vision towards the world, and yet I need to start working at a daily level, my own self, my own health, my own family, and my work. And so the influence of my good karma will be experienced by the everyday experience of blessings from people around me. So whether I am performing good karma or not, that bank balance, how can I check? Throughout the day, I see how much of love, happiness, and blessings I'm earning. So if I'm performing some good karma, I should experience blessings. Blessings from the environment, blessings from nature, blessings from the situation, blessings from the individual, and blessings from God. So I think now we understand this, and so we'll take this opportunity of performing that pure, elevated karma every day and have this conscious awareness. And so now, if any challenges come in our life, rather than blaming people and situations, understand that it's just the energy coming back. Energy which I sent is coming back. And so now, what is the energy I would like to send? And for that, I'm not alone. Yes, I know that present I'm still influenced by my own weaknesses. And so they are very strong, they are dominant in my personality. They have started influencing my intellect. They have overpowered my intellect. Most of my thoughts, they've overpowered my mind. So most of my thoughts are negative, are worrying, are weak, and most of our actions are reactive. And so I understand that these negative behavioral patterns influenced my mind and intellect. Now, so I begin this work of self change. I begin this work of self growth, self empowerment, adding value to myself every day, consciously being aware of my innate virtues and using them to create. And so I will see that journey myself and enjoy that journey. Fine, let's now again reconnect to our loving Father, whose unlimited love, strength, compassion, wisdom is always available to us for performing that pure karma. So maybe let us take this moment to be with ourselves. I take this journey. Are you okay? Yes? Can we begin this journey? Let us take this moment to be with ourselves. And as we enjoy the silence outside, this moment of time, we find there's a lot of silence in the external world too. Where now everything is peaceful, calm outside, and I become of the peace and calmness within. And through my mind's eye, through my inner eye, I visualize the source of this inner calmness. I see that space behind my eyes, the silent space, where I, the being of light, is seated. And as I enjoy the energy of peace flowing from my forehead to my entire body, calming my body, allowing my body to be so still and calm. The vibration of peace and silence, purifying, cleansing every cell in my body, allowing the body to heal and become more strong, healthy. As I enjoy this inner silence, I become aware of my virtues, my qualities. As a being of love, I reconnect to that unlimited feeling of good wishes, care, and compassion for every member of my family. I visualize my life partner, I visualize my parents, my children, and now when I see them as beautiful lights, a beautiful soul, a child of the Supreme. And I send this vibration of good wishes, of happiness, of peace to each one of them. This gratitude where they have been always available to me, giving me so much of love and happiness. So feeling of gratitude, a feeling of love, happiness to them. And as I consciously shift my attention from my family at home with whom I am there to the family at work with whom maybe I talk to every day, I connect with for my work issues. And as I see that family at work, a bigger family, I see my colleagues, my seniors, my teammates, my staff. And as I see them, I see this beautiful light shining between their foreheads. And I connect with them as beautiful souls, as children of the Supreme Father. And as I connect with them as God's children, as my brother souls, I send that vibration of love, good wishes to them. My heart is full of gratitude to each one of them for their support in my journey at work, my growth, my capability to perform, my capability to manage work, create solutions. Each one of them has played, and I thank each one of them. This moment, as I see each human being in this world family as a beautiful soul, I send this vibration of peace to be in the world of silence with my loving parent, my spiritual father and mother, the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of comfort. I allow myself to have this awareness that I, being God's angel, is sending this vibration of strength to each one of those souls, especially to those who are in hospitals, who are ill, people are taking care of them, they're fighting this battle of life, sending this vibration of peace, good wishes to heal, God's pure love and compassion to each one of them, to those people whose loved ones have died, strength, a lot of peace to them, a lot of vibrations, gratitude, of compassion, care to even those who are taking care of those who are not well, who are ill in hospitals or at homes. I send this vibration of God's unlimited peace, compassion, and love to the entire world. I come back to this awareness that I am God's loving child, His instrument of peace, His instrument of world benefit. I am a benefactor soul. I am God's angel. My role is to always send vibrations of love, support, and positivity to each one around me. Allowing this awareness to remain with me as God's angel, God's loving instrument, I come back to the awareness of this room where I am and come back to the awareness of my present. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Sister Deepa. It was very enlightening and really very empowering also. So here we are today on the 7th day. I might have missed showing, certain picture that you had asked me to
No
post.
problem.
If you,
Absolutely fine.
okay. Is it
Yeah.
really want to spend 2 minutes on this or we are done?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Just slide we can spend a minute or two. It was very important. Thank you for showing it. And because there is this one misconception that maybe the human soul enters the animal species because of the impure or bad karma, and there are religions like Jainism who have spoken about this. But rather than the concept, there is a lot of deep mm, essence or deep learning behind the concept. The essence or the significance or the message behind this concept is very, very important. And that is why, as religions and other faiths, but I like Jainism, they talk about the soul entering different species. We find the significance of karma is being shared, where maybe the awareness is being given that if I don't perform good, pure karma, then I have to enter a species, an animal species, to face some pain, challenge, sorrow. And we find maybe at a physical level, the body is hardware and the soul is software. And so, because most of you are oriented towards this technical understanding, every hardware and software has to be matched with each other. And so, the hardware of a species of animal and the software, that is that soul which is there in that body, also has to have a particular coordination. And so we find that at a physical level, the hardware remains the same. The soul, when it leaves this body, it will enter a body, a human body only. But the quality of life becomes like animal like. Today, many times we see it's worse than animal also. And we find that so much pain the souls are experiencing today, where they are not even experiencing that care and comfort of their parents. You know? And so many physical challenges, emotional challenges which today's souls are experiencing. And so the fruit of that karma is that your quality of life degrades to animal like, but even worse than animal like, because even animals have some sort of discipline amongst themselves. You'll find dogs barking with towards each other, you know, sometimes having conflict with each other. But you'll never see a dog actually killing someone. You find any animal, if the animal is a parent, whatever is the capacity of that animal or bird or any other species, we find that they will try their best to take care of their child, nurture, nourish the child. And today we find sometimes children become a means of livelihood for parents. And so they are forced to beg, they are forced to some wrong activities. And so we find that it's a karma which we have to experience. So the quality of life degrades. And the human soul will take when it leaves this journey of life, completes its journey of life, it leaves this physical body of a human, it enters another human body. And that's why in the picture also the symbol is there that a mango seed will give a mango fruit, a seed of banana will surely give a banana fruit. So as is a human seed, we will again enter human body, but quality of life. And in Jainism, the time when we have talked about this, there was no merciless killing of these animals in the name of bhakti, devotion. So we were mercilessly killing them, because there is a choice in front of these. And so that is a time when Jainism talked about this concept of entering other animal species as part of our karma. And so that respect towards animal species, because that vision is that some of your family forefathers are there, and so you have to respect each animal species, love them, respect them, and have that dignity to allow them to fulfill their journey rather than killing them for your own means. So for your offering or for your food, or in some way or the other, to change the violent attitude which we had towards animals. Respect has been given. So the story behind that, or the aim behind that, is to start people to become pure, non-violent, and have a lot of respect for animals and nature. So we need to understand that if I've taken this journey of life as a human being, I, the soul, when I leave this body, I will enter a human body. But quality of my karma will decide the quality of my experiences in that next journey. And so we come back, and I think if you have some questions, then we can take up some questions.
Archana, can I take questions now?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you have to make an
Yeah, so
okay.
please make sure that you do the announcement for the intermediate, course thing first, and then we do the
Yes.
Q&A. We have a hard stop at 8:30 today because the next batch is starting at 9 for Hindi.
Yes.
Okay, so just to make the announcement once again to all. So thanks everyone and the participants who have been with us for the last 7 days now. And it was very good to have you with us. And congratulations for finishing the first level course. And we look forward to meet you again if you're interested to continue the journey with us, with Sister Deepa, with Archana Ban, and every one of us, and make you have and let us together have more understanding on the next level of spirituality, which Sister Deepa will take us through. So every one of us here is welcome to join the course again on tomorrow at the same time. And we have already seen what is coming up next. So thank you again, Sister Deepa,
Thank you
for
for
allowing us.
everyone for being there in this whole journey in this week.
Thank you. Okay, so if that is clear, I will take the questions now. So first
Yes.
question which has come to me is, uh, when you try to correct someone who has been doing something wrong, and you are doing with positivity and good intention, and yet that person gets hurt in this journey, is that considered a negative karma for me?
Yeah, what happens is that this situation keeps coming where I am doing something good, yes, good, but also I have to be able to understand that that person, especially if that person is a family member where in my family at home or my family at work, with whom I'm daily connecting. So there have been daily interactions, and in future also there are going to be daily interactions. So I have to allow myself to understand that I'm also responsible to sustain, the good wishes in that relationship. So maybe if that person is behaving irrationally or maybe unpleasantly, and I feel that I'm behaving right and I'm having the right karma, but that person is not responding well, then I have to first check my quality of thoughts, because sometimes, I have very good actions which I consciously put effort to. But internally, my feelings and emotions still are unforgiving. I still have that little negativity. I still feel like that person is not supportive, that person is not right, that person is always demeaned me, always opposed me. So So those negative feelings and emotions which I'm holding on are also karma. So that is also reaching that person. And if I've been able to take care of those feelings, emotions, and my actions, and yet we find that that person is still behaving wrongly, then we have to have that unlimited, forgiveness, because that person is also in a journey of transformation. So that person will take time to change its own sanskars, as we are taking time in our own personal journey. And so giving good wishes is very important. That person is a part of my life also, my family at work or home. And so what that person is feeling is also going to impact me, help me, support me. And if that person is not feeling good, then it will automatically decrease the quality of sense of harmony and happiness in my environment at work or in the family. So I have to have unlimited good wishes towards that person. And my good wishes, my compassion, even through my thoughts and feelings, emotions, will create a supportive environment for that person to realize and change slowly.
Thank you so much, sister. Brother Arun, you have raised your hand. I'm unmuting you. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes. Sister, thanks a lot, first of all, to you and the entire team for really putting it so nicely and clearing, I think, everyone's doubt here. Just have a small query regarding, I think, one of the example which you gave
Yes.
For the seed, how we, I am sowing a plant and I'm also, eating that fruit. So in that context, I would like to know, suppose in my uh, like if you take the same example, if I have
Yes.
sowed something and I'm now the fruit is ripened now and is ready to eat. So what do you mean, like should we offer it to others, the other fellows, so that they can also rather than eating myself, I eat others? And
Yes.
one small and one more related to my work area. Suppose if I have done something for which some result or some appreciation or whatever is basically due to me now. So shall
Yes.
I give that kind of recognition to my fellow colleagues who are working there? How do we, really apply it in our practical life?
Yes. Now, what happens in a practical life, we have to have a balance. Now, if I'm doing some work, naturally, I have to, see that all the information reaches my seniors and people who are responsible. So they know that I'm responsible for whatever I'm doing, whatever benefit to the organization or whatever success is coming to the organization. But we find internally that gratitude has to be there. And even when I'm speaking to my friends and to my colleagues, that gratitude has to be there, because that's a practical fact also, that even if I've achieved something, maybe as a leader of a team or maybe as a co-member of the team, there has been support of people around me. And so I have to acknowledge that. And maybe also inform people around about what I'm doing, so that in the process of growth in the organization, I'm being acknowledged and appreciated. And many times we find that there are challenges, which we call as politics, or maybe we call as where seniors not acknowledging, not giving gratitude. But then that also can come. So if I feel that there is some practical solution, if I feel, I can do that. I can communicate to my seniors, I can communicate to the people whoever are responsible, that this is what I have done and this was what I had taken responsibility, and so this is my role and my involvement and my contribution. And I should be able to add value in some way or the other in the organization. Externally, maybe even if the reward and acknowledgement doesn't come, I have learned something, I have enhanced my quality of capability and so I have to have a balance. I have to communicate. It's not that I should not communicate, but even after sometimes it's communicating and all that, still I'm not immediately getting any acknowledgement or any reward. Things will happen. These things in the right time. Until then, I have to enjoy my own personal growth, my own journey of being able to add value in my work, in the environment at my work, towards taking care of whatever responsibilities I have. So I should enjoy learning, growing in that area. And yet, surely I should have the communication done. I should those moments of joy or the when we talk about someone taking money from us and leaving the body, it could be that I have taken money in the last birth, so I have to give it this time. So karma will automatically come back. If that money has gone, it will come back in some way or the other. And if the money I had taken in the last journey, it has gone. So rather than worrying about it, I can allow, maybe I can put effort and the person has left the body. So maybe I can tell the family, I can tell other people if there is some written records about that. And if there are resources available, property available, I can put effort to claim back my money. But otherwise, it's important for me to surrender it to the understanding that it will come back if it is mine. And now, when I'm giving money or doing any people, I have to be more careful. I have to see that all the legal aspects are in place so that I not create more karma for which I will experience more pain. Past decisions are done. What is very important, the question which you asked, that whether I can absolve my impure karma, whether I can, somewhere remove the influence of those negative seeds of impure karma. And surely, yes. And that is one of the most important roles of meditation. योग जो है हमारे विक्रम को विनाश करता है. So we find that Rajyoga has that power of yoga, the intensity of love for God and His remembrance. When it intensifies, when it reaches that level where I experience God's unlimited energy constantly flowing towards me, where I'm in union with the Supreme in such a loving relationship, where I experience myself being equal to the Supreme in all virtues and qualities. We were talking about in the beginning, and today morning also the meditation commentary said that when we are the master seed, or when we are the master son of knowledge, son of love, so when we are equal, we experience that quality of being equal to the Father in all virtues and qualities, and we experience that intensity of love for the Supreme. That's when God's pure loving energy, that power of meditation, slowly and slowly absorbs our impure karma. It finishes the negative impact of all our impure karma. And that's a very beautiful example which has been revealed in our spiritual daily study. And we have a picture which later on we will show you. It talks about the 8 powers, maybe Ajnabi, the 8 powers we have. And maybe later on, tomorrow also we can see it, where we find that if we have a lens and maybe we focus the sun on a piece of paper, it burns. The same piece of paper, we could keep it in the sunlight. It's exposed to the whole sun, everything around it is sun, and yet we find that it doesn't burn. Maybe after a few days or few years, it becomes yellow, but it doesn't burn. And yet, just one ray of that sun intensified through the lens on the paper, it burns. And so that's a power of intensified, loving remembrance of yoga, of tapasya, which we will see in future in the intermediate course from tomorrow.
Uh, Thank you so much, sister. Due to time, we'll take this last.
Yeah, we can take one question, and maybe others we will take tomorrow, and we will also have one session only for questions later on. Because I think there's another session at 8.
Jitendra, can we just move on the question tomorrow if that is not a problem? Because actually we need to get ready for the next batch. If that
So
is
tomorrow we can take all these questions. Surely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Archana. You will make the last announcements.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much, Didi. It was so nice to have you, and we are so thankful to you for giving us a week to take our participants to intermediate level so they can really, progress in their spiritual journey and become independent on, doing studies with the online courses that we have for the regular study, just like we are doing after becoming independent. So I encourage all the participants. Yeah, everybody is a student here and everybody is a teacher, and we would like all the participants to be part of our journey and be a student as well as a teacher themselves. And I'm so thankful to Sister Deepa to continue to enable a journey that way. So I encourage all.
Again, I'm just an instrument, and it's his wisdom, his teachings, which daily we are experiencing.
Surely, sister.
Thank you.
Encourage all the participants to log in 5-10 minutes before, because from tomorrow we are going to have a hard stop on time because of the other batches starting. So
Sure.
while Sister Deepa is always available before time, but I would encourage all the participants also to come, and most of the rules and the format and everything is available to us. So I would do a quick start, and the beginning meditation also will do with Sister Deepa. So please
Sure.
log in before
Thank
time,
you.
can take advantage of that. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
I'll save the chat and then I'll end the meeting.